When making pollen slides, you'll need to heat up a mixture of petroleum jelly and water. That mixture is right in front of the hot plate, sits here. You'll put it onto the hot plate and turn the heat between 3 and 4. If you don't see a beaker already made, what you'll do is take a new beaker and fill it up with water, and the instructions are in the protocol for the exact volumes that you'll want to do this with. So it'll be a mixture of water and about half of a container of petroleum jelly. While that mixture is heating, you can go over to the field sampling drawer, open it up, and on the top row here is a box that contains the slides for the pollen, additional petroleum jelly, and labels. If you're out of labels, there's instructions on box in the SOPs in the field sampling section, and that'll show you how to make labels. And what you'll want to do is start your label numbering system at the last label that was used. So for example, here the last label number is 119, so you would create labels starting at 120. To prepare the slides, you'll take one of the boxes of the microscope slides, lay out some Kim wipes, open up that box, and then you'll take out individual slides and line them up on the Kim wipes. Once you've lined up all the slides, you'll see that you have these small pieces of tissue paper that are in between the glass slides. You want to take those and put them in the paper recycling. And then the only other thing that you need to gather for making your slides is 50 ml conical tubes, which are over on the cabinet next to the sink. And so these are the 50 ml tubes, and each tube will ultimately have 2 slides placed into it back to back. And so what you can do is grab either the styrofoam holder or one of our plastic holders to hold these tubes and line up the number of tubes that you need. So here I have 6 sets of 2 slides, so I'll need 6 50 ml tubes. Once you have all of your supplies, you'll want to start labeling each of the slides. And so this step will happen while the petroleum and water jelly mixture is heating up on the hot plate. So what you want to do for labeling is start with the lowest number on the set of labels that you have. And you'll remove that label from the sheet and place it at the very top of the glass slide. You can see here, so here's the top of the slide, and you'll want to do your best when you're holding these slides not to touch the front or the back. You want to hold the sides. For these specific labels, you'll see there's the circular sticker part. Those we don't need, so those can get disposed of either in the paper recycling or the trash. You can see we've lined up and labeled each of the slides, and that's one of the steps that you can do while you're waiting for the petroleum jelly to melt. You can tell when the petroleum jelly is ready by looking at it here. You kind of see they're both liquid, but you see kind of this layer, which is the upper layer, is the petroleum jelly. And at that point, when your beaker looks like that, you can turn off the heat. And this will take 15 to 20 minutes probably to get it to this state. But you want to wait until it is, you can see it kind of shakes, it's fully liquid. And this is slightly hot, not boiling or anything like that, but just be careful. I usually hold the top, and then you can place it down in the hood. The other item that you'll need is the sponge brush. This will either be in with the microscope slides or sitting in the dish drain by the sink. And now to put the petroleum jelly on the slides, you'll just lightly dip the top of the brush into the petroleum jelly, kind of dab it on the side of the beaker, and then place it down towards the lower half and just press down and pull up. And then again, dipping into the petroleum jelly, patting it on the side, and then pressing the next one. And so you can kind of see that it makes a slight circle with the petroleum jelly, and that will dry pretty quickly. But so you'll just want to go through and do each slide in that manner. And again, I'm just barely tapping the sponge into the liquid. I'm definitely not going down into the water layer, and just quickly dabbing it onto, pushing down and up and then back into the beaker, dabbing it off on the side of the beaker, pressing it down and then quickly up. So going just straight up off of the slide, and it'll just kind of make a circular formation. And then once you're at your last one, the first thing you'll want to do is cover up that beaker with the aluminum foil, and then you'll want to clean off your sponge brush, and that can all be happening while the slides are drying. To clean off the sponge brush, you want to run it through water, hot water preferably, for about 5 to 10 seconds. And then I usually have a paper towel with me, and I just kind of try and wipe off the excess petroleum jelly, and you can kind of see it will come off into the paper towel. And so you just want to repeat that process 1 or 2 times until when you wipe it with the paper towel, you're not seeing any more petroleum jelly. And then at that point, you can place the brush into the dish drain to dry in that front black holder there. And so with that, there may be some bits of petroleum jelly left on it. It's okay, we just want to get off a large majority of it. And then again, you can just lay it in here to dry. And then at this point, your slides will be dry, and so then you will want to combine them and put them into the 50 milliliter tubes. And again, each tube will get 2 slides back to back. So I'd open up the tube, place it in a holder, and then pick up my slides. So I'm picking up one, picking up a second one, and then making them face back to back. So the label should be easily read on both sides. And so taking this set and then placing it inside the tube. The petroleum jelly shouldn't touch the sides of the tube. The slides fit in pretty snugly there. And then capping that, and then moving on to the next set. And so once you've capped all of them and have your 2 slides in each one, you want to make sure to throw out your Kim wipes. And then these slides can go up above the balance area. So we can put them on the lower shelf here. And this will be labeled and say that they're slides to go out into the field. And so that'll be the spot that people pick those up when they need them. As far as other cleanup, just make sure that you keep your beaker covered with foil there. And then you'll want to put away your pollen slide box. So again, that goes in the field sampling drawer on the top shelf. And just close that up and make sure that you leave the space as you came into it. And at any given time, you'll want to do between 8 and 16 slides. So each sampling location gets 4 slides per time. So if you do 8, that'll be good for 2 weeks. 16 will be good for 4 weeks.